Welcome back to Becoming Unshakable. In this podcast, we'll explore what it truly means to be unshakable, not invulnerable, not perfect, but rooted in strength that steadies you and everyone around you. So today I want to talk about what being unshakable, becoming unshakable really looks like, because I talked already about what it means to transition from what I originally was really embodying in this Leadership with Heart podcast to this becoming unshakable place where I think the world needs, and to be honest, I need it personally. Just like everybody else, I can change as well. And I needed more. And the moreness was more about I needed to be more centered, more clear, more grounded. And when I did that, it really released stress, anxiety, fear of being judged, fear of not being perfect, fear of falling down. So being unshakable doesn't mean, though, that we aren't unfeeling or that we are invulnerable. To be honest, it's the opposite. Leading with heart, caring for people, showing empathy and concern means that we're willing to embrace that we might be shaken by someone else's adversity, shaken by someone else's story. But we allow the experience of humanness, of being with another person, to kind of roll over us. And we take it in. We take it in without judgment. We take it in without the need for the outcome to be one particular way over another. When you are grounded in what you stand for, grounded in what it is that you want to give to others and what you want to get out of life, it makes it much more smooth. You don't feel as tense. Like I don't feel as anxious as I used to before I made a switch over to say, who am I trying to prove things to? I only have to really prove things to myself, and I don't have to hold myself up so high on this high pedestal where it's going to be easy for me to fall down from it. I don't have to place high judgment. It doesn't mean that I'm not being excellent. That's not what I want you to hear, or that I'm focusing on being my best and being excellent. But the bar is for me to change and to move up and down. It's no one else's bar that I'm measuring against. So being unshakable, becoming unshakable also means building a steady core that would kind of withstand external change that's around us, pressure that's around us, because it's there, right? It's always going to be there. We're never going to be in a place where we aren't having change or pressure, the need to make sure that we're performing at certain levels. We're always going to be at that place. So it's just building that steady core. And I feel like the core is steadier because first I made a decision to stop being perfect or trying to be perfect. I made the decision to understand that I was born, like my purpose is bigger than anything in front of me. And I was put on this planet. I have an awareness about that I was put on this planet very specifically to do what I'm doing. And so because of that, when that purpose is so big, it doesn't matter about the anxieties of life. It doesn't matter about what someone may be judging me to do. I can stand strong in my own circle, in my own shoes on the seat that I'm sitting in. And I can feel comfortable knowing that I'm giving the world exactly what it needs when I'm giving it to them, because I was put on the planet to do this exact thing. So my purpose is clear. My values are clear. Just the reason why I'm on this planet is clear. And when that happens, it helps me become way more grounded. Now, when we think about this, we may think about the term of resilience. And resilience really is this idea of bouncing back more quickly from tough circumstances that are happening really in front of us. And resilience, I think, comes from strong self-leadership, like knowing our values, practicing self-awareness, embracing progress over perfection. This is where resilience is born because, again, if I hit a wall and I know that it hurt when I hit that wall, I know how many more times I personally can hit the wall if I'm a self-aware person. I also know how many times I can hit or want to hit that wall if the thing that I'm doing basically is aligned with my values or knocks up against my values. I have to take a lot of introspective time to understand who I am as a person, what I'm meant to deliver for people in my environment, how I feel the most rooted and strong and steady when things around me might seem to shift. So for me, faith is a big one, right? Family is a big one. Maybe not everybody has that, but those things guide me. And so much of my time is spent in that space, but it allows me to become more resilient. I become thicker skinned. But I also say, do I need to have a thicker skin in this one area over this area? Is this area that I'm fighting so hard against, or two, or four, the thing that actually is aligned with my purpose, is aligned with my values, is aligned with my family and my faith? If I answer no to that, why in the heck do I keep purposely hitting that wall? There's no reason to do that. Here are some key things to think about in this space. Unshakable leaders stay rooted in purpose while they're also flexible in their approach. They create calm and chaos and instill confidence in others. And true strength is quiet consistency, not loud control. I think about these things in this space too, as I am a mother of four and I've got three adults now. It's kind of crazy. I've raised three adults and they're on their own, but they still come back to me. They still come to me for groundedness. And I have one son who calls me super mama, and I cannot stand it. Mostly because I have put in my head that super mama means doing it all well, keeping it all together, making it look easy. And maybe for some, I am doing that. But sometimes inside, I feel like everything is just falling apart. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you may think I'm a super mama, but I'm barely keeping it together. And I'm barely accomplishing these things. And he's like, no, it's because you are able to do so much and you are able to keep calm and you're able to make sure that we all feel like our world is stable and that there's a sense of normalcy in our environment, even as adults, that's why I call you super mama. But I still, it makes me cringe to think about that. Oh my gosh, you're my super mama. Here's what I would like for people or my children to be remembering me as. I do think that this unshakable idea, this becoming unshakable, this force of solid ground, of calm and peace in a world that's full of chaos, I do and want to be known for that. And I know that I can be that force. People have told me before, I love listening to your voice. Your voice is like butter and it rolls right over and you just want to keep listening. And I think it is the strength of my voice, which by the way, when I was a kid, I hated this voice because people would sometimes confuse me when I'd go through the drive-through as a man and they'd say, yes, sir. And it would drive me so bonkers. But I do realize that there's strength and stability inside my voice. And so I'm leaning into that. I'm learning to really embrace that. Just like I did, I used to not like this curly hair. I always wanted to be straight. And then I realized, well, you know what? It's part of who I am. Why am I running from it? I love my curls, right? So what are the things that you do that really help you stay rooted in your purpose, but stay flexible in your approach to things? We have to, if we're wanting to become unshakable, we have to remain flexible. Strong self-leadership means that we stay flexible. So here are a few action items I want you to focus on based upon this little conversation I'm having with you. The first is this. I want you to write down 3 values and assess whether your daily actions are aligning with them. Write them down and then assess it. Give yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being I am rocking this and 0 being I'm not doing so great. Score yourself on those 3 values. And then I want you to commit, maybe in one situation that you can this week, you can pause, you can breathe, and you can respond with clarity instead of reacting in frustration. You can respond with leaning more into your value, the value that maybe you scored the lowest in, but you say, I'm going to look more heavily into that this week. If you can just take these actions, I promise you, you will start to move into this unshakable space. Being unshakable starts with building your core. Remember, being unshakable or becoming unshakable starts with building your core. This week, notice where you can slow down, root yourself in your values, respond instead of react. And then the steadiness that you bring will ripple out to the world. Build that core. It'll allow you to be that caring, empathetic person you want to be for everybody else. But you got to start from within. Thank you for listening to this Becoming Unshakable podcast. Take care.